Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the Books Beside My Bed video. This is my reading week from the 18th to the 24th of November. I read a total of 3.5 books this week, 1,746 pages, and my yearly reading total is up to 239 books. 240 if you count the book that I'm halfway through at the moment. I'm filming this a little bit early because I have an event that is happening over the weekend, which will be the weekend just past when this video goes up. And I had my hair did, so I figured I'd film a video while it actually looks half decent and I haven't just pulled it back, because I very rarely do this because I am uncoordinated. So I am still continuing with the Tome Topple and one readathon to rule them all readathons. I completed the one readathon this week with my first book, and I've added one more book to my Tome Topple collection for this round. I still haven't read the last of the Tome Topple books just because after reading the first book that I'm going to talk about in a minute, I was really not in the mood for fantasy, so I've basically been picking up a few other review things that I've had lying around. The first book that I read was Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas, which is a 2018 release by Bloomsbury. It is the conclusion to the Throne of Glass series, and I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think I said last week that I think this book is about 500 pages too long. There is a lot of stuff in here that I don't think you really need. There are some really good parts to it, which makes the rest of it really seem mediocre, which is the frustrating part, because I think it's a good conclusion. Everything concludes, and I think Jean from Happy Indulgence said this maybe on Instagram, that you can really tell in this book that Sarah J Maas is a romance writer writing fantasy, because you have all the things that you would expect to come out of a romance book in nearly 1,000 pages worth of fantasy, and everyone keeps getting paired up and all that sort of thing. And I'm sort of talking more about this stuff than the plot, because you really can't talk about the plot in the 7th book in a series, especially a conclusion. What I will say, it does wrap up nicely, as you would expect. It's Sarah J Maas, it wraps up nicely. This time, unlike in Aka War, there was a lot of fighting, and I actually don't mind the war stuff. There's a lot of it. Some people will not really like that. I didn't mind it because it actually proved that if she tries, she can actually write that climactic sequence. And she had a few of those in the book because you're sort of wrapping up multiple storylines. My favourite part of this book was anything involving Manon. Her story was the standout for a lot of reasons, one of which I cannot even say on camera because it is a massive, massive spoiler. Manon is my favourite character in this series now. I really don't care about Aylin's story, but I did care about Manon's story. I also I'm not opposed to Dorian and Manon, even though people are. I actually like the dynamic that they have, and I like who Dorian has become around Manon, and I think he changed more than she did, and it was a really nice dynamic, and it was interesting seeing how he fit into her world amongst the 13. What I will say I'm disappointed about, I don't think she was brutal enough with her main cast, and I think that lost some of the impact. However, where she did add in character deaths and things like that, there was one core scene that really, really got to me, and I hate that she did it, but I love it at the same time because I think that shows that she is capable of doing that. I just wish she'd had the guts to actually go further than what she did, if that makes sense. It's really, really hard to talk about this book without spoiling it. I don't really want to film a separate spoiler video. So 3 out of 5 stars. It's a conclusion. It's done. I think this is my last Sarah J Maas book, just putting it out there. Wow, that was really long-winded and totally incoherent, so I apologize profusely for that. Then I read Dark Sacred Night by Michael Connelly. This was sent to me for review by Allen & Unwin. It was unsolicited and it was released earlier this month, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I've now read, I think, 3 Michael Connelly books that they've sent me, and they're not bad. I don't mind them. I'm coming to realize I am more of a crime thriller person than a psychological thriller, domestic thriller person. This is a crossover between Michael Connelly's Bosch and Ballard series. I really like the first book in the Renee Ballard series, The Late Show. She is a female detective who has been relegated to Hollywood's Late Show, which is basically the midnight watch for the police. And Bosch is a semi-retired detective who works cold cases, and they find themselves, and they cross paths in this first book when Ballard catches Bosch rummaging through someone else's filing cabinet in the Late Show division after hours when no one else is around. I liked it. It's an adult crime thriller. It was fast-paced. The characters are likable. The interplay between Ballad and Bosch was really nice. I just thought it was really interesting how the two worlds sort of collided, and there's multiple cases going on because they're both working on completely separate things, but it's the way that they connect one cold case that is sort of a side project for both of them that really brings them together. So I really like this, and I look forward to reading any further sort of crossover books between them, because I'm hoping that there'll be a few. Also kind of makes me want to read more Bosch books because I've only read one. The third book that I read this week was Twas the Knife Before Christmas by Jacqueline Frost. It is the second book in the Christmas Tree Farm series. It is a cozy mystery. I haven't read the first book. I don't really need to after reading the second book because you sort of get all the main plot points as everything's recapped. This was super fun. It is a 2018 release by Crooked Lane Books, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I did receive this as an ARC from NetGalley, and I adored it. It is set in a small town that is named after Christmas, and everything in the town is Christmas 365 days of the year. It's kind of actually sickening because I like Christmas as much as the next person, but it's not my favorite holiday of the year. But this was really sort of over the top, and in that way it was a lot of fun. How can you not like a town that is basically like a theme park for Christmas all year round? That would just be both terrifying and entirely hilarious to be around. The main character of the series is Holly White. She apparently returned to her family's Christmas farm, which is, Christmas tree farm, and they have a cafe and they have a whole lot of activities all year round, and they do all sorts of things. And it's approaching Christmas, and Holly's best friend Caroline has become the suspect in the murder of the son of a local judge. And Holly obviously sets out to try and prove that Caroline is innocent and gets herself into a bit of trouble along the way. This cozy mystery had more of a romance element to it than I have read in the last couple that I've picked up. She has this sort of burgeoning relationship with the town's sheriff, and he is obviously not impressed when she keeps getting herself into trouble in cases that she should not be investigating. And we get a lot of their relationship development in this book as they learn to trust one another and share the secrets that they have. And it was very, very sweet, and I really enjoyed it. And there's a bit of a magical realism element in that you think there might be a Santa involved, but you don't really know if there's an actual Santa, not a murdering, stabby Santa. Although there might be one of those too. Who knows? But there is sort of this magical realism element of just strange magical things happening. And I am currently reading The Whispered Word by Ellery Adams, which again is a cozy mystery that I received for review from NetGalley. I will talk about it more in next week's wrap up when I've actually finished it, but it is a cozy mystery, and the main character works in a bookshop, and there's a whole lot of bookshop references and quotes and things, and it is just wonderful. I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed Twas the Knife Before Christmas, but I am still enjoying it. So we'll see how the second half of the book pans out, because I'm about 60% of the way through, so we'll see. So that is it for my books for this week, plus my Kindle stuff. Let me know if you have read any of these books or if you're planning to, and let me know what you have been reading in the last 7 days in the comments below, because I would love to hear. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.